Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy."
I've been preaching sermons for a long time, pretty well continuously since 1986. Now, that's a fair few years, and in all that time, I reckon I have preached about 2,000 sermons. So when I come to preach what may possibly be my last sermon, I wanted to choose a subject that is just a little bit special, a little bit more worthy than usual. I thought about this quite a lot, and when the answer came to me, it seemed so right and so appropriate for this occasion. I decided to preach about the Beatitudes, that list of blessings that you find at the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, because they pretty well sum up everything you need to know about the teachings of Jesus. In fact, if all the other teachings of Jesus were to mysteriously disappear overnight, and the Beatitudes is all you would be left with, it would be enough to base your life upon. But I confess to a problem, or rather, two problems. The first problem is simply that they are very familiar, perhaps too familiar. And by the time we have read anything a dozen times, 100 times, it begins to lose its effect. The familiarity can cause us to miss how challenging and yet how wonderful they really are. But the other problem is more serious, I think. The words as we have them are not always easy to relate to. Who are these meek? These poor in spirit? These persecuted for the sake of righteousness? Nice words, I guess, but how many of us, I wonder, really see ourselves in those words? How many of us really think of ourselves as meek? How many of us have ever been persecuted for the sake of anything, never mind righteousness? I don't know about you, but for the most part, they don't always speak a lot to me. And maybe that's why I have felt drawn to them this morning, because despite all this, I think they are important. I think they are really, really important. They are important because they are all about Jesus lavishly blessing the world around him, and especially that part of the world which most people don't have much time for. For people in pain, people who work for peace instead of profit, people who exercise mercy when vengeance would be far easier. So maybe Jesus is actually just blessing the people who never seem to get blessings otherwise. And doesn't that just sound like something Jesus would do? Throwing around blessings as though they grew on trees. Especially to people who may not think of themselves as especially blessed. So I thought maybe it was time to have some Beatitudes for this day, and for this place, and for these people. And maybe, just maybe, you will see yourself being blessed somewhere along the road. Because I like to imagine Jesus standing here among us and saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they whose faith is secure. But blessed too are those who doubt. Blessed are they who are so spiritually impoverished that they're no longer certain about anything. And blessed are they who would love to believe, but have found that the cruelties of life have destroyed any possibility of faith. Blessed are the poor in spirit. You are of heaven, and Jesus blesses you. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are they for whom death is not an abstraction, but because they have really come face to face with it. Blessed are they who have buried their loved ones, sometimes too young. Blessed are they for whom tears are as real as an ocean. Blessed are they who have loved deeply enough to know what real love feels like. Blessed are the mothers of the miscarried. Blessed are they who can't fall apart because they have to keep it together for everyone else. Blessed are the motherless, the alone, the ones from whom so much has been taken. And blessed are they who laughed again when for so long they thought they never would. Blessed are those who mourn. You are of heaven, and Jesus blesses you. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who no one else notices. Blessed are the kids who sit alone in school. Blessed are the sex workers and the hopelessly addicted. Blessed are they who think they have nothing to offer. Blessed are they for whom nothing in life seems to be working. Blessed are the losers and the inadequate and the parts of ourselves that are so small that they don't want to make eye contact with a world that only seems to love the winner. Blessed are the forgotten. Blessed are the unemployed, the unimpressive, the underrepresented. Blessed are the teens who have to figure out ways to hide the new cuts on their arms. And the old people who day by day feel their minds and their memories slipping away. Blessed are the meek. You are of heaven, and Jesus blesses you. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the wrongly accused, the ones who never seem to have any luck, the ones for whom life is hard, because they are the ones who Jesus chose to be with. Blessed are those who are so desperate for a better kind of life that they would risk the death trap of a truck or an overcrowded boat in order to reach another shore. Blessed are the foster kids and the special needs kids and every other kid who just wants to feel safe and loved and never does. Blessed are they who know there has to be more than this, because they are right. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. You are of heaven, and Jesus blesses you. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are those who make terrible business decisions for the sake of people rather than profit. Blessed are the burnt-out social workers and the overworked teachers and the exhausted nurses. Blessed are the kids who step between the bullies and the weak. Blessed are they who accept the friend who is struggling with their sexuality. And blessed is the friend too. Blessed is everyone who has ever forgiven me, even when I have not deserved it. Blessed are the merciful, for they totally understand. You are of heaven, and Jesus blesses you. See, I like to imagine Jesus here blessing us, because I believe that's what he does. That's his job. Because after all, it was Jesus who had all the powers of the universe at his disposal, but did not consider equality with God something to be exploited, but instead came to us in the most vulnerable of ways, as a powerless flesh and blood newborn. As though to say, I am blessing all human flesh. You may admire strength and might, but I am blessing all human weakness. You may admire power, but I am blessing all human vulnerability. This Jesus who we follow cried at the tomb of a friend, turned the other cheek and forgave those who hung him on a cross. He was God's beatitude in human form, God's blessing to the weak in a world that only seems to admire the strong. So if you are here today mourning, or feeling abused or unseen, or not very useful, if you, perhaps like myself, are all too aware that it is not your strength and your virtue that qualify you to be called a saint, but your need for a God who makes beautiful things out of dust, then these blessings are for you. So as you come to him, behold who you are, and know that the blessings Jesus pronounced on the Mount so long ago